welcome to another stream. I hope you're doing amazing today. We are on our 99th day. I'm excited. Nova is excited, apparently. She's playing with her squeaky toy that Sanchez bought her. Thank God she has eventually and finally ripped out the squeaky portion of the squeaky toy. So it's no longer a problem for her to be playing with it while we stream. Although she does want me to play, and we can't do that quite yet, but we'll play after. I promise. Okay. Yeah, that makes you upset. Understandable. Sanchez, PJ, what's up? K, Truth, welcome, guys. Hope you're all doing well today. Let's get comments pulled up on my end. Today we're going to be talking about your brain is making the connections. Your brain is making the connections. So today we're really going to be talking about, those behaviors, what we mean by living life. We're going to just pretty much wrap it all up. That's what we try to do every stream. So this is something I try to mention as often as I can. And that is, if you are new here, do not be overwhelmed by the sheer amount of streams that we do and think to yourself, oh God, that means there's so much for me to learn and there's so much for me to take in and so much information before I can start to make progress. Absolutely none of that is true. If you just tune into any one of our streams, we try to sum up recovery in every stream as crystal clear as we can, okay? So again, if you're new here, I know the numbers have been going up recently. Don't think, oh God, I've got to watch all, what are we at, chat, like 500 of these streams in order to learn how to recover. That's simply not true. Just tune in to any one of our streams, and we always try to sum it up. So today we're going to be talking about the main topic being how your brain makes the connections. Your brain is making the connections. We're going to talk about how the brain learns, all that good stuff, all that good jazz, and we are on our 99th day, which is just absolutely crazy and insane, and I'm so thankful for that. How you doing, Ghost? We are live. Good, thanks for stream. How you doing? I'm doing great, man. How are you doing? Sherry, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Had a bad fall this morning. I had to call EMS. Well, I hope you're doing better now, Truth. I hate to hear that. I hope you're doing a bit better. Resting, and gonna enjoy the stream. How are you doing, Sanchez? Hi, hello, welcome. Stream is filling up quite fast today, so we don't have to really wait around. We don't have to waste too much time. Truth says, I feel everyone is recovering but me. It's easy to say that on your not so good days, but on your good days, you come in here and you say, yes, I am making progress, and you're proud and you're pumped. Do not be bluffed by the fact that you're having a not so good day and then see that through a black and white lens and tell yourself, well, I guess everything is screwed, right? That is a rabbit hole we do not want to go down. In fact, I know better than that because I've seen you come in here on some of your good days and be really pumped and really motivated and glad of the progress that you have made. So just because you're having a bad day, do not see that through the lens of black and white thinking, right? That is not a rabbit hole that's going to benefit us. Let's not do that. I have seen, like I said, personally, myself with my own two eyes, you come in here and say how well you are doing. So black and white thinking is what that looks like to me. Do not base your entire life around one bad day, around one bad moment, right? Let's not do that. All right, guys. We do not have to wait around any longer. Chat is already filling up. So what are we going to be talking about today? Today we are going to be talking about your brain is making the connections. Your brain is making the connections. Now, when we put it quite like this, right? When we put it quite like this, it becomes much more simple what we're talking about here. So a lot of people, like I said, I started this stream by saying people look at the sheer number of streams that we do and assume that there's so much to learn when really there's not. So today's topic is just to make it as simple as possible. Your brain, and I'm going to, and really, that is the point today. I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible. Your brain, okay, works like this. When we're talking about the limbic system, when we're talking about the amygdala, these are all parts of your brain responsible of regulating your anxiety levels, of learning and making these connections, right? I'm going to make this as crystal clear as I can. This is how it works. It says to itself, let's sound the alarm. What is the alarm? Anxiety. What comes along with this anxiety, this alarm? Symptoms. These symptoms can consist of physical symptoms, mental symptoms, intrusive thoughts, whatever comes along with this. So throw this all under that category, right? We're going to make this as simple as possible. The alarm is sound. The brain says, hey, let's sound the alarm, right? It sounds the alarm. You get the physical symptoms. You get the intrusive thoughts. You get the mental symptoms. Some of them are really intense. Some of them are just downright freaking weird. But you get all these things that come along with the alarm. Sometimes they change. Sometimes they don't. So the brain has said, let's sound the alarm. The alarm has been sound. Now what does the brain do? At this point, now that the alarm has officially been rang, what does the brain do? The brain pulls up a chair, right? So picture this, visualize this. The brain pulls up a chair, has a seat, and says, okay, boss, we have sounded the alarm. Now I want to see what you do about it. I want to see if you start to get really weird. I want to see if you start to behave in a certain way. So that alarm has been sound. Now, if the alarm hits you and you go, oh shit, I don't like this, and you run to bed, the brain says, okay, boss, noted. There was a real tiger. I'll make note of that. I'll keep those anxiety levels nice and jacked up for you because clearly there's a problem here because of what you're teaching me. The brain can't tell if there's a real danger or not. You got to show it if there's a real danger or not. So let's give another example. The brain says, okay, boss, let's hit that alarm. Boom. Hits the alarm. You've got the symptoms. You've got the thoughts. You've got whatever goes into it for you, right? Let's say you have that alarm. Brain pulls up the chair and you say, oh shit, I'm going to go down a rabbit hole of worry here. I don't like this. I don't like this feeling. Okay, already you're starting to tell the brain, look, there's a danger, even though there's not. There's no real tiger out there anywhere to be seen. But because you say to yourself, oh shit, I don't like this. I'm really having a hard time here. This is horrible. You tell the brain, hey, brain, there's a problem here. And the brain says, okay, I'm watching. And then with your behaviors, you say, all right, maybe I should put off eating lunch today. I'm just going to skip this meal, and I'm going to go lay on the couch and be really, really freaking quiet. I'm just going to kind of huddle up here and be really quiet and be really apprehensive and oh God. And the brain says, okay, boss, I guess I'm doing my job right. There's clearly a danger here because you wouldn't have said, oh shit, I hate this and went down that worry rabbit hole, and you wouldn't have went and sat on the couch and skipped dinner today. And all these things that you're telling yourself and doing are telling me, boss, that I'm doing my job right. So I'll make note of that, and we're going to keep the anxiety levels nice and jacked up for you. All right? So people underestimate how clever the brain is because it seems stupid, okay? Wonder Bro, how can you say my brain is clever when clearly it's triggering me over not something that's not real? There's no real tiger. Well, it's clever in the way that it learns. It can't tell if there's a real danger or not, but it's very clever in the connections that it makes. So if every time the alarm goes off and you go down the rabbit hole of what do I do about this? How do I figure this out? Okay, well, you're already starting to send the signals that say, oh, there's a problem, brain, I need protection. And then right after you send those worry signals, you start to change your behaviors, right? We all know the two main keys are live your life, have that accepting inner voice, stop fighting with the thoughts and feelings. So the two ways that the brain learns. So alarm goes off, you start fighting with the thoughts and feelings by going, oh God, I'm really hating this. What do I do about this? Okay, so you're sending this danger signals that way. And then number two, you start to change your behaviors. Oh God, I'm going to drop what I'm doing. I'm not going to continue. Let's say you're working on some art or something. I'm not going to continue this piece of art. I'm going to put this down, run to my bed. I'm going to put this down, run to the couch. I'm going to put this down, run and call a friend and talk about how bad my anxiety is. Brain starts to make the connection. The brain said, hey, I hit the alarm. They started doing a bunch of worry, and they put down their art and ran to the couch and called a friend and started talking about how bad their anxiety is, right? Brain starts to make the connection. Hey, when I hit the alarm, they stop what they're doing. Something's wrong here. There must be a real danger. Brain starts to make the connection. When I hit the alarm, they start complaining. Something's wrong here. There must be a real danger. Brain starts to make the connection. Hey, every time I hit the alarm, they put down whatever it is that they're doing and they run and do something weird. They do some sort of coping method or behavior. Every time I hit the alarm, they stop participating in life. Every time I hit the alarm, they stop talking about sports and things they enjoy, and they start talking about all this crazy stuff about anxiety and stuff, right? Brain starts to make the connection. Every time I hit the alarm, they start to be less productive. There must be a real danger. Every time I hit the alarm, they put down whatever they're doing and run to bed. Every time I hit the alarm, they start worrying and stop living. Now do you see why the two main keys are what they are? Now do you see why the two main keys are stop fighting with your thoughts and feelings up here, have the accepting inner voice instead, and live your life, positive behaviors? Because that's the two ways that the brain is learning. Whether you like the facts, agree with the facts or not, the facts will always be facts, right? And you underestimate how clever that brain is. You think, okay, I can get away with this. My anxiety's high. The brain hit the alarm. Okay, well, I guess I can just stop living for a little while and go lay in bed and worry a little bit. You know, I can get away with this. I can afford to get away with this. You underestimate just how clever that brain is. You don't think the little things matter. You bet your sweet butt the little things matter. You bet the little things matter. The brain is very clever. So every time it hits the alarm, you run for the hills. Every time it hits the alarm, you stop living. Every time it hits the alarm, you stop being productive, right? And you underestimate just how clever the brain is. You don't think it's going to pick up on this? You bet your ass it's going to pick up on this, right? If it hits the anxiety alarm and you start doing the worry and stop living, right? The two main keys, that's what the two main keys come back to. If every time it hits the alarm, you start doing the worry and you stop living, your brain is very clever and it will make the connection. Now, that's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. You don't have to be perfect. Perfection's not required to make progress. You're going to have ups and downs. You bet you're going to have ups and downs, right? But that is fundamentally how this cycle works. The brain is very clever, right? You don't think the little things matter, they do. You underestimate how clever the brain is? Too bad. It's very clever, right? So let's give another example. The brain hits the alarm. Boom. Thoughts, symptoms, feelings, whatever, right? And you say, okay, well, I was gonna go take that shower just a minute ago, but now I'm feeling very anxious. So instead, I'm just gonna crawl in bed here, and I'm just gonna skip that. Brain is very clever. It says to itself, okay, I hit the alarm, and instead of doing your original plan, you just went and hid in the corner. There must be a real danger here, right? Brain starts to make the connection. You cannot get around it. A lot of people think, well, you know, my brain's not that smart. It's not going to pick up on the fact that when it hit the anxiety alarm, I stopped doing what I was doing in the moment and put it down and ran to the bathroom, right? My brain's not that smart, Wonder Bro. It's not going to pick up on that. And I'm here to tell you, you can bet your ass it will pick up on that, right? Now, again, that doesn't mean you have to be perfect. I'm not telling you, hey, look, if you don't freaking nail this thing, you're screwed. No, I'm just telling you, don't underestimate how clever the brain is. Don't underestimate it, right? Now, with all that being said, I understand how intense it can feel. I understand how much, just putting it bluntly, how much like shit you can feel, right? But that doesn't change the facts. The brain doesn't really care, you know, how uncomfortable you feel. It doesn't really care that you don't feel like going and taking that shower. It doesn't care about all that. It's just it's working in a very machine type way. Anxiety, the amygdala, the limbic system, is working in a very machine type way. It doesn't take that into consideration. It doesn't say, okay, well, I hit the alarm and made them feel very uncomfortable, so it's understandable that they wanted to skip the shower today. It doesn't think in those terms. It's not like having a conversation with a human. It doesn't say, okay, I understand that I made you feel very uncomfortable, so I totally understand why you skipped doing that art today and put it down and ran to bed. I understand because I scared you. I understand why you would do that. My bad. Nope. Doesn't work that way. Doesn't take that into consideration. We wish it would, right? We wish it would, but it doesn't. Doesn't take that into consideration. It doesn't say, I understand how intense I treated you, right? So I understand why you would want to skip that today. I get it. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. Doesn't have that sympathy for you, right? It's just very mechanical. It makes the connections. The anxiety alarm goes off. If you start to behave a certain way that tells the brain that there's a danger, it's going to assume there is one, right? And it's going to keep those connections. It's very mechanical. That's how it works. It's a machine. It does not have sympathy, right? Now, some people might say, well, that's just a little bit too brutally honest. And I say, no, I'm just giving you the facts. Next time you think you can pull the wool over the eyes of your brain and say, oh, well, I'll make an exception today with these negative behaviors. Brain's not looking at it that way. The brain is simply saying, look, I'm going to give you what you put in, right? Like a machine. I'm going to give you what you put in. So I see a lot of people saying, well, what about this? Can I make an exception for this? And doesn't my brain understand this? And I'm like, look, you're dealing with a machine here, and I'm giving you the facts. I'm giving you the code. I'm teaching you how to operate this machine. But no, we cannot change how the machine works. I wish we could in certain aspects, but we can't. I'm just teaching you how it works. I'm not teaching you whether it's fair or not. Might not be fair. Well, tough luck. It might not be fair. The machine still works the way that it works. Right? Whether it's fair, whether it's cruel, whether it's not cruel, whether it's bad luck, whether, so forth and so on. We can go on all day long about how not fair it is. Machine doesn't care. Machine doesn't care. Machine just does what machine does. Right? So I try to get people out of that victim mindset because it doesn't matter to the brain. You can stay in the victim mindset for as long as you'd like to stay in the victim mindset. Does not matter to that machine. Does not matter. Does not matter. Does not take it into consideration. Does not care. So I try to get people out of that victim mindset because you're not working with something that gives a shit whether you're in a victim mindset or not, right? You're working with something that says, hey, I'm going to give you what you put in. That it's as simple as that. The brain says, I'm going to make the connections. If every time I hit the alarm, you start doing the worry and changing your life, I'm going to make the connection that there is something wrong. And that's just how I operate, whether you like it or not. That's what the brain says, right? So quit trying to convince it otherwise. If it wants to play that game, well, we're going to play that game, and we're going to play it right? And that's just facts, and that's just how we're going to go about it, because nothing else is going to help. So understand, there's two main keys for a reason, because that's the two ways that the brain learns. If you keep setting it off with the worry, you're going to feel stressed. If you keep changing your life to suit the anxiety, you're going to keep sending the wrong signal. Two main keys. Stop fighting with the thoughts and feelings, a.k.a. have that accepting inner voice instead of going down those rabbit holes, and live your life. Positive behaviors. Show the brain what's up. Every time it hits the alarm, it wants to see you kicking ass, so you got to kick some ass, right? Again, whether that's fair or whether that's a fair system is irrelevant, because the system is what it is. Whether it's fair or not is irrelevant. Right? That's just how it works. So when the anxiety is turned on, the anxiety is learning. When the anxiety is turned on, is watching to see what your move is. My recommendation, positive behaviors. Continue living your life. Don't run to bed. Don't run to the couch. Have a productive kick-ass day even though you feel like crap. This is how you're going to tell the brain that the danger does not exist. Right? And again, you don't have to be perfect. Sometimes I come off a bit blunt, but I'm just trying to tell you the facts. But I will level with you here just for a second. You don't have to be perfect. I understand it's difficult. But these are the rules of the game, right? These are the rules of the game. And I'm just trying to teach you how to play this game. Is it always easy? No. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Can you pick yourself up and get right back on board? Yes. Can you stay in self-pity? Unfortunately, also yes. But let's try not to do that. Let's try not to do that. Let's try to get right back on track. It's up to you if you want to stay where you are. It's up to you if you want to play by the rules of the game or not play by the rules of the game. All of this is up to you. Nothing can take that from you. Anxiety cannot take that from you. You understand the rules of the game, and yes, they are as simple as they sound. Stop overcomplicating them. If you put in that you're feeling good with how you're behaving, even though you might not feel that great or even terrible, but if you're showing your brain that the danger does not exist by living your life and no longer going the worry route, the brain is going to learn. It'll catch up eventually. If you do that, you can have that. If you don't do that, you won't have that. Simple as that. Here's the rules. Here's how the game is played. I'm just here to tell you how to play it, and I'm also here to give you a little bit of motivation, a little bit of hope, a little bit of courage, and get you on your way, right? Up to you how the rest of the day is going to play out for you. Up to you how your recovery is going to play out for you. You know how the game works. It's time to play by the rules. And just to sum it up one last time, the two main keys are: stop fighting with your thoughts and feelings. Have that accepting inner voice, right? Instead of fighting with the thoughts and feelings. And live your life. Those are the rules of the game. Anxiety learns while anxiety is turned on. If you want to show it that there's no real danger by having a kick-ass productive day even though you feel like crud, then it will learn. But if you want to keep running back to bed, using the compulsions, using the coping methods, slowing down, whatever the case may be, then it's going to learn to keep the anxiety high. There's the rules of the game. The rules of the game cannot be changed. Whether we consider them fair or not is irrelevant to the brain. Let's play, right? Each and every one of you are very, very capable. Each and every one of you should be proud, beyond proud, of how far you've come. Each and every one of you have got knowledge that you didn't have before. And just because you're not perfect at it doesn't mean anything. Let's just get right back on board, get right back going. Old habits die hard. Let's put in another day's work, right? I believe in each and every one of you. That's the way the game is played. That's the way the brain makes the connections, and it doesn't get any more to the point than that. Stop overcomplicating it. Use the advice that I know that you know, and just do it, all right? Woo. What a good one, man. What a good one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, make sure to leave a thumbs up on the stream. It really does help the channel grow and reach other people who need this information. Let's head on over to... Okay, I'm glad I caught that. I'm glad I caught that. You guys were trying to warn me. Everybody was freaking out. Thank you for freaking out on that one. But I got it. I accidentally switched the mic to my old microphone. All right. We got some music going. Oh, God, I just about knocked everything over. We're fine. That would have been tragic. How is everybody doing today? Let's scroll up a little bit because I know I've missed some comments. Let's see. Let's start kind of from the top here and see if I missed anything. Any questions or anything like that. Fear. I've gotten a lot better. Keep it up, Eclipse. You got this, Sherry. You got to keep it up. You've got the rules of the game, right? You just have to play by them now. Gotta say I completely got rid of one of my coping methods. Absolutely amazing, Sherry. Keep it up. What's up, Joseph? What's up, Mint? Hope you're doing well today. Let's see. My psychologist, if I can read today, that would be nice. My psychologist told me today, when you do your exposure homework, remember that the way you feel is not what determines your progress. It's how you act. I wonder where I've heard this before. Yeah, I wonder where you've heard that before, Mint. I wonder where you've heard positive behaviors, living life, and all that good stuff from before. Huh? Says yet again, the advice is confirmed by a medical professional. No surprise there. Not to toot my own horn, but no big surprise there. What's up, Gabe? Hope you're doing well today, dude. I remember when I had anxiety when driving, I would drive to the local video game store. I know this is off topic, but I wish local video game stores were still a thing. Play the Wii on the kiosk. That was my reward for overcoming my fear. Those were so awesome, dude. Thank you, guys. It means so much to have all this encouragement. Don't have this here. Absolutely. One family here. One big family. There's nothing wrong with getting some support, getting some encouragement. Most importantly, we hope that you use what you gain, right? Because that's what's going to make the difference. That is the difference maker. So, but nothing wrong at all with a little bit of support and encouragement on the side there. As long as we're using what we learn, right? This is a banger, man. This is a banger. That's so funny you mentioned that, Mitt. Not how you feel that determines your progress, but how you're acting, right? AKA living, AKA showing the brain the truth, man. If there was no real tiger around, would you be acting the way that you're acting? Figure out the answer to that question. Ask yourself, if I was not in real danger, if there was no real tiger around ready to rip my freaking throat out right now, would I be acting the way that I'm acting? Because if you're acting like there's a real tiger around ready to rip your throat out, your brain is going to assume that there is a tiger around ready to rip your freaking throat out, right? And it's going to keep those anxiety levels nice and high for you, right? This is how the brain learns. Spider-Man 3 is a good movie. Changed my mind. My attempt at distracting everyone from anxiety. I've never watched it, so I cannot even make a decent attempt. I cannot even make a decent attempt at that. I will take your word for it, though. Was it really as good as everyone says? I don't think I've ever met anyone who hasn't liked that movie that has seen it. No, I have never seen it. Never seen it. I'm not really a fan of the superhero stuff, but I can see the appeal.
Donation.
Ooh, spooked me a little bit. Spooked me a little. All right. Instant Mint. Instant Mint. Thank you so much for the $10 tip. It says 100-day streak. Let's go. We are on 99 days, guys. 99 days. Who would have imagined we would ever be at 99 days? Mint, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. Shout out in the chat, please, for Mint. Thank you, Mint. Thank you so much. They did my boy Venom wrong in Spider-Man 3. I do like Venom. Venom's cool. I don't think anybody's went down the rabbit hole just yet, Abraham, but and hopefully it doesn't happen. I love Claire. Claire is very cute, but we don't like to see her. But if she's needed, she's needed. Kay, thank you so much for the $10 tip, Kay. Thank you guys. The music's really hype today. You know what? It's a hype day. We're on 99 days, dude. It's a hype day, so the music should be hype. We're going to keep it right here. Iron Man is my fave. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I'm not into the superhero thing. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. It's cool. I don't know why I'm not into it. I just, maybe one day. Maybe one day. Things change. Things change all the time. So, who knows? Who knows? I love Spider-Man 3 Venom because back then oh gosh, burpee. He didn't, excuse me. He didn't have much humanity in the comments. He was a jerk, and that's who he is in the movie, a liar. I don't know. I don't know much about the, Abraham, holy shit. Spooked me again, man. I keep forgetting to turn it down. Abraham with a $5 tip. Today the streak will hit 100 days, says Abraham. Where did our music go? There we go. I was just talking it up, and then all of a sudden disappeared on us. Abraham, man, give him a shout out in the chat. Thank you so much for the $5 tip, dude. Says today the streak will hit 100 days. Wonder Bro, congrats. I have you guys to thank for it, dude. I have all of you guys to thank for it. Thank you so much for that, Abraham. And Mint, and Kay as well. Can't forget about Kay. I was doing good. You're still doing good, Ford. Get right back on track, dude. You know the rules of the game. You know the rules of the game. They never change. Setback considered a misfire by your amygdala. Setback, I don't use the term setbacks unless I've got somebody who's purposely, going back to old habits and continuously doing that and making no attempt to catch that. Then we call that a setback because you're just going right back to bad old habits, right? Out of choice. We call that a setback. So, no, I don't consider a setback just when you're triggered. That's not a setback. Unless you're purposely using old bad habits, then you're starting to go backwards, right? I don't know why you would do that to yourself, but that's what we consider a setback. We consider what you're referring to as moments to retrain, right? Moments to really use what you know and put in some work. Arnold's singing today. Some good songs. Good songs. I appreciate that slow jam. Appreciate it. Woke up this morning and realized I didn't have any Mountain Dew. I was like, oh man, I'm going to be dragging today without the dew. Don't worry though, we got some dew. We went and got some dew, so don't worry about it. But yeah, we were dragging there for a bit without the dew. This is definitely a new playlist. I don't think we've ever listened to this one here on the channel. But I kind of like it. I'm not going to lie to you. It's catchy. Good shit. Love it now as an adult. Can appreciate it more than when I was a kid. Yeah, movies start to make a little bit more sense. You can pick up on every little thing. When you're a kid, it kind of just goes like right over your head. You guys ever had that happen? Go back and watch any of your like favorite childhood movies or cartoons, and you're like, I would have never got that as a kid, but I see what you did there. And I can't believe you did that. But I see it now. I understand it now. No, this song we've listened to 100 times, so we're going to skip that one. We want new stuff today. Only do is Baja. Baja Blast, don't even get me started. So good. You guys got me in a music mood, mostly Arnold. I wish we could listen to all this stuff together, but unfortunately we cannot. No, it is definitely not a copyright-free song which you are singing, Arnold. Definitely not. And it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. I picked the copyright-free playlists, and if for some reason they're not, I just get sent a million emails telling me that my video can't be monetized. Guess what? I don't monetize my videos anyway, so fucking suck on that. Suck on that, YouTube. Ya bitch. You little bitch. Someone's like, oh, I love the Cat in the Hat movie when I was a kid. I'd see it again and I'm like, this is kind of bad. True, true. FBK, dude. FBK coming in with the $25 tip. Says, you made it. You made it to 100 days. Oh my God, chat. Oh my God, chat. We did. We absolutely did make it to 100 days. 100. Look at it, chat. Take it in, man. Take it in. Take it in. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I know I've said this before, but I never realized, or I never imagined, rather, that we would make it to 100 days. That is just insane. We're gonna tuck this over here. We're gonna tuck that right there, and we're gonna leave that there for a little bit. 100 days, chat. 100 days. Can we take just a moment? I would like to interrupt for just a moment. Can we take just a moment and spam the chat? Spam the chat with the emojis, man. I don't care what emojis you use. Use whatever you want. Can we just get some hype in the chat? Let's get some hype in the chat for 100 days consecutive tip goal. That is absolutely insane, and I have all of you beautiful people to thank for that. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much it means to me, and it does help keep this show on the road. So everybody wins, man, and I just could not be more grateful. I love doing what I do. I love seeing people make progress. I love knowing that we're putting somewhat of a dent in the amount of suffering in this world. There is no better feeling than that, and I appreciate the support that you guys have shown me throughout it all. This would not exist, man, if it wasn't for each of you as an individual. You might underestimate your power as an individual, but you never should. Not here, not on this channel, because this right here would not be happening. Let me repeat that. I want you to understand this. This would not be happening if it wasn't for you guys, right? So you guys make it possible to do what I do, and I'm so grateful for that. So grateful. Let's continue doing this, man. There's no reason to slow down. Let's continue putting a dent in the suffering in this world. Let's continue growing as a community. Each and every one of you are amazing, and you should be so, so proud of yourself. So again, thank you so much. 100 days. I don't know what else to say besides thank you. You're amazing, amazing, beautiful people. So absolutely insane. Absolutely insane, chat. I want you all to literally reach back right now as I'm speaking. I want you to reach back and give yourself a big pat on the back. I have trouble doing that because I'm a big boy, but I'm trying. Give yourself a big pat on the back, all right? Thank you, guys. Thank you. I love to see the spam in the chat. Get hype. Get hype. You deserve every bit of it. Wonder Bro, congrats. Give yourself a pat on the back. I'm trying. I'm a big boy. I got a bad back, but I'm trying. I give the pat on the back right there. I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Oh, good stream, man. Good stream. Good stream. Try to keep this going on the daily, man. Try to do this every single day. You know, I love doing what I do. It's amazing. I love to see people making progress. I love to see people growing. And I do appreciate all the support throughout it. Treat yourself with a hungry man and some Modest Mouse tonight, bud. Yeah, we eat those TV dinners, bro. You know we gotta eat those TV dinners. Hey, man, don't sleep on Hungry Mans. They're good. They're good. They're good shit, dude. Good shit. If you didn't go through what you did, it wouldn't be happening either, Wonder Bro. Well, I appreciate that, PJ. Thank you for looking at it that way. Thank you for looking at it that way. Let's see what other comments I may have missed. 100-day streak. Thank you for that style alert. Thank you for the hype. Whoa, that was quick. Absolutely instant. Thank you for being a part of that. Just curious, do y'all find that sugar or processed sugar affects your feelings and or anxiety? Well, I mean, I'm sure if you ate better or ate healthier, right, you'd probably feel more energetic, more alive. But as far as it keeping you from recovery, absolutely not. I eat like dog shit, and it didn't affect my recovery. So it won't keep you from recovery, but I'm sure it'd make you feel better physically if you ate better, obviously. But as far as keeping you from recovery or anything like that goes, no, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Let's see. I think I'm caught up. Seen them in concert. Let's see. I think I'm caught up. Keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. Arnold's in that singing mood today. Hey, I appreciate that, Kesh. I mean, I know myself personally, like if I, whenever I do get around, which is not often, I'll be honest, but whenever I do get around to actually eating decent food that's not so processed, yeah, it does make me feel physically better, as far as my energy levels goes and things like that. But as far as it affecting your recovery, no, I wouldn't go as far as to say your diet's going to be the make or break in your healing. Absolutely not. Yeah, we are trying a new playlist today, Mint. We are trying, what's the name of this? Best non, they're all pretty much titled the same. Best non-copyrighted music 2019 1 hour copyright-free music mix. That is what we've got playing right now. So quite the title there. All of these copyright-free playlists are pretty much titled along those lines. It's all the same. You never really know what you're getting into until you click on it. I've just been trying to click on new ones, basically, is my my tactic here. Keep in mind, truth. Brain is watching. Brain is watching. You know the rules of the game. You just got to play by them, right? Listening to Wonder Bro over the last year and a half got me completely over my last big phobia. That is awesome, Abraham. Keep it up, dude. Cheaper than therapy and far more entertaining. I love the far more entertaining part. I love that. That's the best compliment you could have given me, honestly. Appreciate that, dude. Appreciate it. I like this vibe. You should save it. A lot of these music playlists don't have like actual words in them, so I do appreciate the ones that do. It's a nice change in pace. I think there's something to be said about that, truth. I think, as long as you're dealing in acceptance, right, then you're speaking the truth. But how people speak that truth matters, I believe, because a lot of people do take the concept of acceptance, positive behaviors, living your life, your brain, your brain is watching, right? A lot of people take this whole concept because at the end of the day, it is how the brain learns, and we know that. But a lot of people take it and they mix it up, and then they deliver a very confusing message, and then they make it all big and intimidating, and they just really make it way more complicated than it needs to be. I mean, if you're in a sensitized state and you've got someone that comes on and tells you, hey, your brain's watching, get up and live, it wants to see you living, then it'll see that there's no danger because it doesn't know if there's a danger or not. So live, show it that there's no danger. And while you do that, let the thoughts and feelings be, right? You don't have to fight with them, just keep living. You got somebody that gives you that message, okay, that's pretty easy to comprehend for a sensitized person. But unfortunately, what you see is most of the time people deliver that message in a very complicated way, right? They get on here and they say things like, all right, if you want to recover, you're going to have to blah, 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 A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and let me give you all these big, complicated, fancy terms that you don't even need to know, but I'm going to give them to you anyway so that I can seem smart and big brain, and forget all that. You know, sensitized person just wants help. They don't care about big brain and let me flex how smart I am and use all these different terms and give you all these different bullshit and adjust my tie while I'm at it. You know, people don't want to hear that, right? People don't want to hear that. Just put it simply. Just fucking put it simply. People just want help. You don't have to come off a certain way. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And of course, you can make delivering that message a little bit, humorous and even entertaining at times. So that's always good. I don't know. I do my best with it. I try to do my best with it. Truth knows she's going down the rabbit hole. See, she's aware of it. That's the first step. She's aware of it. That's the first step. And that's okay because nobody's perfect. Literally, nobody is perfect. Yeah, absolutely, man. Back to my point. I don't know why the message is, for some reason, delivered so confusingly. I don't know why it's overcomplicated. I guess there's a couple of different factors that go into that, but it doesn't need to be overcomplicated. It doesn't need to be confusing either. In fact, there's so much on the mind of a sensitized person that why are we making it more confusing than it needs to be? That's my point. Oh, I had to mute my mic for a second. You guys ever choked on your own spit before? Jesus. Not fun. Not fun. Do not recommend. It's funny you guys are talking about the Discord. I actually mentioned that today. I made an announcement over there twice because I felt like it was that important. Where I said, this is an awesome place. Enjoy it. Enjoy the support. Enjoy the encouragement. Don't use it as a 24-hour coping method, and surely don't run to it as a compulsion. Do not make those mistakes. So I don't want that place to turn into just another crutch. But with that being said, as long as you're careful about that and mindful about that, it is an awesome place to be. Awesome place to be. So, at any given moment, you can decide to, you can decide what kind of day you're going to have. Now, I'm not saying you can decide what kind of feelings you're going to have or thoughts. The alarm is the alarm, and that's up to the brain stuff, right? But you can decide what you can do with the day, right? Regardless of all that's going on behind the scenes, you can decide how you're going to tackle today and behave during the day, and that's going to make the difference in the end. So, regardless of the feelings and thoughts you're having, which don't get me wrong, I understand it could be intense. It's still going to be up to you how you approach the day. And at any given moment, you can decide to move a different way, right? You can decide that you're going to turn that video off that you've watched 8 times in a row for comfort, and you're going to go do the dishes, right? And that's the first step. That's the first positive step. And your brain notices this. This whole stream was about how the brain makes connections. So at any given point, regardless of the thoughts and feelings that are present, you can decide what you're going to do in that moment, and it's going to make all the difference in the end. Isn't that awesome? That literally that choice is yours to make. It's not up to anybody else. It's not up to anything else. It's not up to your anxiety. It's not up to anything but you and what you want to do with the information that you have, right? I'm not saying it's always easy, because certainly I know that it's not, right? But again, isn't that awesome? That choice is always yours to make. Always. Always, always. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has their ups and downs, but, you know, with that being said, you've got the information, and you get to decide what you do with it. You get to decide what you do with it. Oh yeah, I'm really glad that I put that reminder in that bot, Mint. During the early days of the Discord, I thought about that a lot. I was like, you know, I deleted the Facebook group because I noticed that people were treating it like an anxiety form, just constant complaining, constant, you know, and then this is not living. This is just showing your brain there's a problem. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want no part of that. So I spent 2 hours deleting every single post on there and basically shutting the group down, making it private, right? And then the Discord, I think, came along after, or I'm not really sure. But then I started thinking, well, are people doing that with the Discord? Or are they just using it as another compulsion, as another crutch? Because this is not what their brain wants to see. So early days of Discord, I actually got that bot just for that reason. So I could make it spam that reminder. I think it's like every 8 hours or something. I try to think about these things, try to consider these things. The Facebook group got shut down pretty quick because I was like, nah, man, people are treating this like an anxiety form. They're jumping on here when they feel anxious, which is not what the brain wants to see, because they're not living. They're doing a compulsion, and they're complaining with all this second fear, and then people comment and they just join in on the second fear, and it's just like, oh my God, are you guys even watching the videos? What are you doing treating the group like this? So I got rid of that shit as soon as I could. And with the Discord, I try to have that bot give the reminders out, and I try to remind people myself, and, you know, I try to make sure that anybody who posts in there is met with the advice, and they're told straight up, and they're given facts, and they're not, you know, coddled too much. I personally don't want to be a part of any sort of group or anything that just serves as another compulsion. No, thank you. That's not what we're trying to accomplish here. No, thank you. We want progress. We want growth. We do not want to just be a part of another fucking form. Is that Sum 41? No, that's Simple Plan. Is that Simple Plan, Arnold? I believe that's Simple Plan. You're testing my music knowledge here. I should know this. Pop punk is one of my favorite genres. Absolutely, Abraham. Although I will say I love the movie Alice in Wonderland. It's a great movie. But I agree with you, nonetheless. You don't want to spend your life in a constant rabbit hole. A lot of people have the info, but whether or not they're really pushing it and using it, it's another story. I agree with you. I don't even need to read all the way down, and I can say that I already agree with you, Truth. The anxiety support groups are absolutely horrible. Don't get me wrong. They have good intentions, right? Like when they set these groups up, I know the intentions are pure. I know they're good. I know they're from the heart. You know, we want to build a community for people to have support, and I get that. That's pure good intention. But the way that they are moderated and then used by the community, if it's not kept under control, just turns into an absolute shitstorm, an absolute second fear breeding ground of bullshit. No progress is being made. It's just being used as an absolute crutch. People are offended. Nobody's making progress. It's just a literal, God, I don't even know what term to use. It's just absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. They feed off each other. I couldn't have said it any better myself. Thank you for that. They feed off each other. Second fear on top of second fear. Worry on top of worry. It's just, you know, every time they get anxious, they're jumping on the form, which is telling their brain there's a problem. So actually, it's just making it worse than it is better, and it's just, it's bad. It's bad. I was a part of so many of those, and I'm so glad that eventually I found acceptance and was able to get away from that. It's okay as long as you don't take it to heart, Arnold. You can have fun with it. I love pop punk. I like the way our little community is ran, though. Everybody is met with the advice. They don't allow a whole lot of complaining because that's not beneficial. People are met with the advice. They're met with the advice in a very straightforward way. Progress is more important than coddling in my community. So some people might take that the wrong way, but they got to understand that it's absolutely in their best interest. Right? Now, whether or not they understand that it's in their best interest is a personal problem, but it's in their best interest. So the way that we run it over there, I'm very happy with. Some people might not like it, but it's tough shit. It's more important that you grow, right? More important that you grow. I keep good thing. I keep working is the good thing. Any tips? If it's still there, keep working, dude. You do you. I always like to say it like this: you do you while your anxiety does it. Right? It can do its thing, but you're doing your thing. That's probably the simplest way we can put that. It's doing its thing, but you're doing your thing. Right? And that's how you should approach that. So have a productive day, regardless. No, I agree with you. I never felt better from just laying in bed when I felt bad, Arnold. I agree with you. Went to every live concert that came here, a total blast. That does sound like a blast. Truth, I've only been to a handful in my life. No real big names, but concerts are always fun. Kate, hello, Kate. Hello, Miss Kate. Thank you for joining us. Although you're going straight to detention for being so late. Wait. I might be eating my words on this one. Was Kate in the chat earlier? Ah, shit. Spoke too soon. I don't think she was. I think I'm good. I think I'm okay. On a serious note, thank you for that, Kate. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm in bed because my butt is so sore. Okay, that's justified. You had a fall. You probably need some rest. That's justified. We're not going to worry about that. You get that rest. You get that rest. That is completely 100% justified on that one. It might give you a little bit more time to go down rabbit holes. Let's not do that. Let's not do that, though. But you get that rest, nonetheless. No, I was living my life. Thank you very much. All right, smartass. I don't have anything to say to that because you are right, and I'm proud of you. And although I wish I could sass you back, you're going to win this one. You're going to win this one. Progress is not linear, Arnold. Don't forget. Progress is definitely not linear. You've got your learning opportunities. You've got your ups. You got your downs. This is a part of it. Yeah, but I've been anxious the whole time. Probably too many rabbit holes because you don't have much to do while you're laying there. But maybe you could find something to do. Maybe put something on to watch, a comedy or something, right? You can find little things to do. You can also be using those accepting reminders, right? To stay out of those rabbit holes. Remember that living life happens in little and big ways, so. What's up, APC? We're on our 100th day. Good stream today. We've covered a variety of topics. I'm really happy with today's stream, so if you'd like to watch it back later, you always can. Feel free to do so. Happy for you to join us, though. Hey, that's the way to look at it. That's the way to look at it, Lincoln. That's the way to look at it. Arnold says, what progress? Arnold, if you want me to be extremely blunt and straightforward with you, please don't let this hurt your feelings, because this is a compliment. This is a compliment, not an insult. When you first came in here, my God, you were a lot like I was with the overthinking. I'm not saying you don't overthink anymore, because you do, and that's okay. Everyone does, right? But my God, at the progress that I've seen in you from when I first met you, right? So you might not see, it might not be clear to you what progress you have made, but if you don't think you've made progress, well, you are lying to yourself. You are lying to yourself. You go at your own pace, but you got the information. It's up to you how you want to use it. I can agree with you there, Truth. I don't watch much TV either. Although I did start to make myself watch a little bit of TV during my recovery, because I had this weird thing where I couldn't watch TV without wanting to pace around the house. It's like I couldn't sit still for it. And I guess that was, you know, just the false alarm. So I did make myself watch a little bit more TV while I was in recovery. Just for that reason. Just to say fuck you, anxiety. Now, don't get me wrong, Arnold. You still have your downs, right? Right? Everybody does. But, and apparently today might be one of those days for you. But I've seen you on your highs, too. So you might not see it. Truth might not see your progress, you know. But I see it. I see it. I appreciate that, APC. How do I approach that? Then you allow that to be. So if you notice that you say to yourself, oh, it's still there? Okay. Well, my objective is living. So it can be there, but my objective is living. That's how you approach that. Correction, Arnold. I did not block you. So stop with your lies. All right, first and foremost. I turned off notifications because, to be honest, and I think everybody can respect this, right? I think it's fair if I want to mute my notifications on my personal DMs and do things that I need to do, right? I think that's fair. I'm sure you understand that. I'm not saying you don't. I'm sure you do. But I did not block you. Okay, thank you very much for the record. But I will say this. I will say this. It is up to you what you do with the information that you have right now, right? So you can continue to go down this rabbit hole, or we can turn it around, right? With the feelings and thoughts still there, you can do what you want to do today. And I know you're going to say, well, I don't know what I want to do, and you're going to go down a rabbit hole. But still, up to you if you do that or not, right? But my main point here is, right? You've made more progress than you think you've made, because I know you, and I know how you used to be compared to how you are now. And I do see progress in even the way that you word things, right? I'm glad you understand. I'm glad you understand, Mint, and I'm sure Private understands too. We're just kind of picking on each other a little bit, But yeah. I'm glad you understand. It would be, good lord, if I tried to do that, I would be the one who needs the support. After a little while of trying to attempt to do that, I would probably be the one in the support chat needing it. I need a team. Maybe I should hire a team. What do you guys think? No, we can't do that. We can't do that. I like the solo life, man. I like the solo life. And that's another thing about that, right? Like, at any given moment, you can put on any one of my streams, right? Any one of my hundreds of streams, we always talk about the same two main keys. We talk about them in many different ways, right? We talk about them in many different ways. But at any given moment, you can slap on one of my hundreds of streams and be reminded of what needs to be done, right? So they're always there for you. They're always there for you. They've always got your back. Believe it or not, guys, I do like to do other things than talk about anxiety. Oh my god, he fucking said it. Oh my god, where's the unsubscribe button? Oh my god, this guy's a fucking jerk. I'm unsubscribing right now. He just said that he enjoys to do things other than talk about anxiety. Oh my god, I'm out. And if that's you, kiss my fucking ass on the way out the door. I know. I'm joking. I know that everybody here is very understanding of that. You're all awesome people. No, absolutely. The Discord's there for you, Arnold. That's what it's there for. It's there for all the support that you need. Just don't want it to turn into a compulsion. Just don't want it to turn into a compulsion. That's the only thing about the Discord. Don't want it to turn into a huge compulsion. What do you do when you try not to think about anxiety and it's like it's become an obsession even if you don't feel it? Well, don't try to not think about something, because that's the first mistake that you make, right? So anytime you don't want to feel something or don't want to have a thought, you're automatically just throwing gas on the fire, right? So instead of approaching it with a mindset of how do I not think about this, give yourself permission to have whatever thoughts that you have, to have whatever feelings that you have, but then remind yourself that you're going to live your life with them. You're going to allow them to be. It's not a pushing away. You're going to allow whatever thoughts to come to come. You're going to allow whatever feelings to come, right? But you're going to do what you want to do. So the first mistake that you make is in not wanting to think of something. That's automatically saying, please let me think of it. Please let me think of it, right? That's basically what that is. Maddie, hello Maddie. Popping up out of nowhere on me like that. You scared me. You scared the shit out of me. Maddie? How you doing? How you doing? So that's why we say, instead of trying to approach these thoughts with, oh God, I don't want to think about it, we approach them with the accepting inner voice, which means, okay, that thought's there, all right. Right? Whatever your accepting inner voice is. Same thing with the feelings. And then life is lived. That is the two main keys. And that's one of the many reasons why that is the way that that is. What? Wonder Bro has a life and interests outside of anxiety? How dare? Block, unsubscribe, turn off notifications. I'm out. How dare? I completely realize that there's literally nobody in this community that feels that way. You're all great people. But you would be surprised. You would be fucking surprised that some people like that do exist. You would be very fucking surprised. There you go. I think Instant Mint answered your question better than I could answer your question, Arnold. If it's there, it's there. If the thought comes, it comes. The feeling comes, it comes. Right? It's not a pushing away of anything. It is saying to yourself, okay, I'm having these thoughts, I'm having these feelings, but I'm washing the dishes. I'm not trying to do anything about them. I'm just living my life with them, right? Can't put it any more simpler than that. Hey, what's up, Rami? Then let it send it. Let it send it, Jillian, but you're going to keep doing whatever the hell it was that you were doing before it sent the false alarm, right? You're just going to keep doing your thing. Did you almost shit yourself, Prince? Is that what we're talking about? That's the thing. You don't stop doing what you're doing for the false alarm. Simple as that. The feelings are there. The thoughts are there. You're not fighting with them. You're doing what you're doing. You're not stopping what you're doing because of... You're not going to be led around on a leash anymore. Basically is what that comes down to. What do you do in your spare time? I live a fairly normal life. It's nothing special. I like to do a little bit of gaming. I'm not really a huge fan of TV or movies, but I am binge watching one on Netflix at the moment, but I live a fairly normal, simple life. I do spend a lot of time doing things related to the channel, even when I'm not streaming, whether that be on the Discord or a little bit of coaching here and there, you know, whatever the case may be. So there is a lot of, you know, things that do happen behind the scenes that I'm working on the channel or whatever, even if I'm not streaming. But outside of that, I do like to do a bit of gaming, probably one of my favorite hobbies. Pretty big computer nerd. But yeah, it's a very, very simple life. All right, beautiful people. We have passed that hour mark. I'm going to go ahead and prep our stream song because this is the 100th day, and this definitely deserves the song. So we're going to get that pulled up. Thank you guys so much again from the bottom of my heart for everything. You have no idea how grateful I am for it. What a good stream today, guys. Live your life, man. You can accept your thoughts and feelings, but you don't have to be led around on a leash by them. They do not have to control your actions, right? You don't have to fight with the thoughts and feelings. You can just live right through them. I love you guys, man, and thank you so much again for the 100th day streak. You guys are amazing, and I love you from the bottom of my heart. So we're going to go ahead and get our song playing. What else is there to say? I think that's everything. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your day, and until next time, as always, stay awesome.
I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Yeah. Did it die? Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Whatever you want, I'll be whatever you want. Just tell me you love me or not, whatever it costs. I know I'm talking a lot, there's something I gotta get off. Don't wanna be this no more, I don't wanna drink no more. Always gotta do the most, thinking that I'm insecure. Really should've listened more, but I don't, of course. I'm an asshole, I'm a good guy, I'm your best friend, I'm the worst type. Tell you everything that you heard right, just so I can fuck on the first night. Feel like I'm losing hope, running from coast to coast. I don't know where to go, this all I've ever known. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Won't die. Did Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? My aunt think I'm perfect, I know I'm not. My mama be worried, I told her stop. They know I did drugs and think that I'm off. Little do they know I never could stop. My manager hate when I'm pulling up late. Back on my bullshit, she think it's a phase. I got relations I gotta maintain. I'm two different people, my side and my main. Yeah, I'm sober, I'm an addict. I'm a lowlife, I got habits, but I refuse to be average. Really so tired of acting. Don't know what I miss no more. Too bad you don't hit me more. I'm bad when I get too bored. Careful what you wishing for. I'm a stone cold killer. I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer. I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Won't die. Did it die? Wait.